If you go to Detroit for a Tigers game this season, you may recognize the voice over the speakers at Comerica Park.
Larry Figursky joins us with the story of a Grand Rapids man now serving as the voice of summer in Detroit. Larry?
Yeah, and a familiar one at sporting events here in West Michigan for nearly 30 years now. Jay Allen grew up in Holland and moved to Grand Rapids, where, like most in sports, hoped to work his way up through the minor leagues and eventually to the major leagues. And just when it finally appeared obvious he never would, he did.
The third baseman, Jamer Candelario.
As he approaches his 60th birthday,
This is it's a dream. I'm ready to do it. It's been great so far.
Jay Allen is suddenly living that lifelong dream.
I've always felt comfortable from the first day I was in radio. I just felt this is where I belong, behind the microphone. This is just a calling that I feel I've been asked to do, and I'm going to do.
Yet one he never really thought possible.
I always felt that I had the ability to do like a major league ballpark, but living in Grand Rapids, I knew the limitations. I thought the only way I could ever get to a major league ballpark would have to move.
26 years ago, Jay seemed well on his way. Beginning in 1993 and for more than 2 decades, Jay served as the PA voice of the Grand Rapids Hoops. He would briefly hold that same role with the West Michigan Whitecaps in the mid-90s and for the entire 12-year run of the Grand Rapids Rampage. His voice becoming synonymous with West Michigan sports. How much did that help you for this?
Well, immensely. I mean, I started out doing high school football at Houseman Field back in the early 90s, and so all those were like stepping stones.
After the Hoops and Rampage disbanded, and with his desire to stay in West Michigan, Jay started selling cars, something he's done for more than a decade now. And with the exception of a handful of high school games,
I've been doing high school football and basketball and competitive cheer at Kennewick Hills, where my kids all graduated from.
Jay had been out of the professional PA business for more than a decade, but last fall heard the Tigers would be looking for a new public address announcer in 2019.
When this opening came along, and I just said to my wife, it's probably now or never, let's see what happens. And I thought, what I got to lose? So I called, talked to a gentleman, very nice on the phone, asked if I had anything that had my voice on it, and I said no. And he said, well, grab an old lineup from last year, do it into your phone. And I said, seriously? He said, yeah, just do it into your phone and email it to me, and then we'll see what it sounds like, and I'll let you know.
The Tigers liked what they heard, but
they just said, we're going to try to find somebody closer to Detroit. And I said, no problem. I said, if I could do anything, if I could just fill in one weekend, it'd be a dream come true.
Yet just 2 months later, the Tigers called again, asking if Jay would still be interested in the job.
I said, absolutely. So I said, what do we do next? I said, well, I think you should bring me down to the ballpark. Let's see if we can create some magic, and you'll know and I'll know right away if this is going to work.
The first baseman, Miguel Cabrera.
And it did.
And about a month and a half later, I got the call, said, we'd like to have you if you want to be our public address announcer. But still, I still can't believe when I got the phone call.
And now, the starting lineup for your Detroit Tigers.
But to live and work in Grand Rapids and work for the Tigers in Detroit, this job would come with quite a commute.
I drove it thinking, could I do this every day? And the closer I got to Detroit, the more excited I got. And I thought, yeah, this could be a second home for me real easy. So it's not been an issue. It is a little bit of a hike.
So with the blessing of his daytime employer, Jay makes the 5-hour round trips.
My perspective is I love West Michigan. I love Grand Rapids. I love the area. If I want to do something at this level, I've got to make the sacrifice. So driving a couple hours to make that dream come true and be a reality, it doesn't even really enter my mind as a inconvenience. It's just part of the job to me.
Often daily, sometimes by series or homestand.
Listen to my music. I go over the lineups for the upcoming series. Just a lot of things consume my time. Before you know it, 2 hours is up. I'm here at the ballpark, and the fans are just charged up and you're ready to go.
You know what's funny is I've never had anybody yet say you're crazy.
And while Jay is a pro's pro,
Leading off, the designated hitter, Nicholas Castellanos.
when the mic is off, he'll always be a fan first.
Oh, that'll get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Yeah, baby!
And while he gets more and more comfortable every series, sometimes Jay still can't believe this is his new office.
This is Major League Baseball in downtown Detroit. The history goes back to 1901. This is the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park. It's as good as it gets.
And you are the voice of them.
Something like that.
Batting fifth, left fielder, Kristen Stewart.
Which still seems strange, but yes, I am the voice of Comerica Park. God willing, I can do this for 20 years.
As Jay has been well received by both Tigers employees and fans, and I know, like a lot of the folks at home, I've been listening to him at sporting events in West Michigan here for nearly 25 years. He does a great job. He's got a great God-given voice to do it, and bottom line is he's a really good man. So he's the kind of guy you're really happy for. That finally
awesome.
happens as he's turning 60.
Right.
I'm so happy for him. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And he's great at it too.
Yeah.
Great pipes.
Thanks, Larry.
So cool. Well,